I'm like a 5-year-old every time I see that car, and even when I get in it, it's marvelous. So obviously, I like to think I'm just like a part of the community. Not that I'm anything big or anything special. Like I'm not any influencer or anything like that. I just like to think I'm just somebody who tries to persuade people into liking cars more. So like as I mentioned before, I kind of helped find well not found it. I just kind of gave Chanel a push and started more events, and now we have I think about nearly 200 members plus because we have Chanel Dubai, we have Chanel Oman, and even Chanel Turkey as well. When I went to the States, I was also planning to start one there, but then Rona kind of ruined things there. But hopefully, we'll have a Chanel USA as well, inshallah. And pretty much like I would just like to think because I would attend events. I would always like try to talk to car enthusiasts, whether they have like supercars, sports cars, JDM. Like I'm still trying to learn a lot more about JDM and muscle because like that's something as owning a muscle car, even though it's a pony car. I still do want to learn more about like how to work on V8s, how do they work and everything, and like even the same with like when it comes to the JDM cars. Like I don't know much about anti-lag and everything. You tell me a Skyline, yeah, I know what that is, but you talk to me about like how it works, I will not be able to explain it for anything, sadly. But I still love the cars regardless, and doing a lot of events and also like attending a lot of events. There was a couple of maybe I think if I'm not mistaken, we did one charity event which was with I think it was a collaboration between Team Chanel and the 86 Club, where we had gone to Ibn Battuta. This was when I went with Rushel. We took the MC Stradale. I don't remember if the kids saw it, but I remember somebody was saying they loved it. But we ended up going and actually like us and a couple other members, we spent a certain amount of money on these children because they were orphans, sadly. And obviously, they needed new clothes or toys or anything. And I remember Red Tag in Ibn Battuta was doing this with a collaboration. So we had gone and like we had spent a good amount of money, I think, on the kids where they got to buy anything they wanted, whether it was shoes, toys, or just whatever kids need. And kids love toys and stuff like that. So it was nice to obviously do certain things like this. We actually went. I went with one of my other friends, Adesh. He has a orange Jaguar F-Type. We had gone to the Hatta Dam. So obviously after staying in quarantine for nearly like 4 months, it was good to hear exhaust systems and just hitting uh, good decent speeds of 120, as the law says, going 120 and stuff, 140 if permitted to, and obviously, blasting the exhaust and everything. And we had a couple of really cool cars with us. We had the 812 Superfast, which is owned by ASB or Amrit. Then we also had like a couple of modified F-types. Then like even, we had one GT4, we had a Porsche GT4 as well. That thing was marvelous. But again, events are just great. You get to network with people, you get to meet a lot of people, you make a lot of really good friends, and like in general, you just get to learn more about cars. So yeah, it's just really nice going to events, I would say, especially here in Dubai, because like back in the States where I'm attending college, very rarely do we have events. Like, so the town that I'm in is called Rexburg, and there's this place called Idaho Falls right next to it. Idaho Falls is where all the really good cars are, and it's mainly JDM there. Like everyone has a JDM fetish in Idaho for some reason. You'll see Subarus, you'll see like R35s and stuff. You won't see any like Lamborghinis or anything. Maybe just one or two, but like everyone there is a Subi fanboy. So I don't know if it's an American thing, but everyone there is a Subi boy. But it's nice to have a change of atmosphere. I owe Team Chanel and even the car club in general just a lot of respect and also a lot of like credit for who I am today. Because before when I like I said, back when I was doing my IGs, I wanted to go the traditional Asian route. Oh, I'm going to do something with science and medical, or like I wanted to be a marine biologist at first. Luckily, things didn't work out for me in that field. So during my gap year, I got to like attend more events. And when I spoke to these people who had my dream cars, essentially Lamborghinis, I asked them like, what should I do if I want to be able to afford a car like this one day? Like I would love to have a Gallardo. That's my dream car since I was 5. I have a poster of it still to this day. And one of my very good close friends and even my mentor, I like to consider him, his name is Jay. He's got this beautiful like one of one purple wrapped Lamborghini Aventador with a one of one body kit. I can't remember the name of the body kit, but it's got a Capristo exhaust system. Marvelous car. It's always there at Gulf Car Festival. It was there on the red carpet as well, multiple times. And I'll admit, I'm like a 5-year-old every time I see that car, and even when I get in it, it's marvelous. But I even speak to him like almost every day. He's like, I always ask him for advice. But in general, all of these like supercar owners, they told me it's like you're not gonna get anywhere by like just being marine biologist, and if it's not your passion, why do it, right? So obviously I did, and during those like 2 years I had a gap year, I just ended up like asking people like what to do, and I did a lot of internships at the time. I did an internship at the 9 Degree Car Club, at a couple of my friends' businesses, and even at the Atlantis in HR. So office jobs, yeah, they're fun, but I kind of realized I had a passion for business, and that's when I decided, okay, you know what, thanks to the car club and also all my internships, I'm just gonna go the route of business. So that's when luckily I got in my university. I decided to take business. Otherwise, who knows? I would have taken like science or something and maybe not really enjoyed it as much. So definitely the car clubs made me grow as a person. The only one time where I had an encounter with police here in Dubai, in the States, nothing yet. Here was like when one of my friends, we were doing a video shoot with a Bentley Bentayga. So we had gone to the Warsaw desert, and obviously he had like, he was trying to take some cool videos. I have a cool picture with it myself. But he had ended up like getting on a soft sand area, and he didn't realize. He started accelerating. He had dug himself into with the Bentayga. Consider these were when it was brand new, so they must have been going for at least 1.2, 1.3 million. And this was the first edition, I believe. So it was like a very specced out, like one of one, or not maybe one of one, but very limited edition. I remember it had the badge and everything, and I was like, oh crap. So this thing's like nearly bumper deep in the sand, and we tried everything. We had one of our Arbab friends even come, like an Emirati, with this huge F-150 to try and take it out. No avail. So our friend was like, okay, you know what, wait, I'll call the police because they're right here next to Warsan. There's a huge station. Maybe they can help us. He gives a call. I'm obviously crapping bricks because I'm thinking, number one, we have a Bentley Bentayga in the sand. They're going to ask us, why is it in the sand? And if people are somewhere near us, tell them, oh, they were like doing donuts and stuff in the sand and they were spitting sand everywhere, we're probably going to get a fine, or even the car might get impounded and our friend's going to kill us. So luckily, nothing happened like that. The cops, we had like 6 cars that even come up, and all 6 of the police officers, super nice. And there was one elderly gentleman, he was just talking with us the entire time, and he was talking with me and my friend. He was asking, how did this happen? I was like, my friend just said, oh, I'm sorry, I accelerated too much, dug myself in. He's like, oh, so sad, beautiful car. And like, in the most like Arab accent, and I was just laughing in my head. But super nice guy. He was just talking to us about the car, asking what my friend did and stuff. And and luckily we got the Bentayga out. Bad news was the suspension has completely gone screwed. So I believe our friend had to pay a decent amount of money, but luckily it was under warranty, so Bentley took care of it. But I know that he had to pay a good sum of money to fix a couple of things because I think some sensors were broken, the suspension was screwed because he had put it in like off-roading mode and then got it stuck and putting back into regular mode. So sand had gotten stuck underneath the suspension or something. So it was a disaster, but that was the only encounter with cops I've had so far. So me and my friends, we always talk about this. Like it's a never-ending story. But essentially, like I said, my dream car is a Lamborghini Gallardo. But if I had the money, I would pick the Gallardo. So essentially, how can I say this? So I have like a bucket list of cars I want to go through as I get older. Let's say maybe if I'm fortunate enough, by the age of 25 theoretically, I have a good job, I'm able to afford my dream car. I'd first want to upgrade maybe to a Corvette, F-Type, Maserati. I would like an MC Stradale because Lucio is kind of showing how fun that car is compared to the regular GT. But if I can't find one, GT is good. Then from there R35. Like there's like a whole list of cars. Like I want to go step by step. But if I were to pick like just one and stick to it, I would have to get a Lamborghini Gallardo, and if possible, I don't know if anyone's done this yet, but and it would have to be the specific model, which is the Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera LP570-4, because I just love the carbon fiber racing bucket seats and just the Alcantara and carbon fiber. That car is just like pure track car. It's beautiful. But if it's possible to put the dual clutch system from the Huracan along with the technology, and maybe just a few bit of the components into the Gallardo. So it'd be like a modern Huracan Ardo, if that makes sense. That's my dream Lamborghini. I would never sell it. V10 is good enough for me. If possible, I'd try to keep that and buy a V12 Aventador SV as well. But, those 2 cars, I'm happy. No need anything else. Maybe just a McLaren 570S as well. That's about it. Because I loved it. I drove the car, marvelous. And the billionaire doors, you can't go wrong with it. This is a beautiful car.